today, so last time I brought you a video on mindfulness, and I really hope that's something that's been helping you so far in regards to becoming more mindful, more cognizant, more observant about what's going on with you, with how your thoughts are going, your emotions, your physiology, as well as your behaviors. And I hope you're starting to see that how others react are having an impact on how you react, and we can make those changes. But the only way we can do that is to be more cognizant of that. So what I thought would be a good idea today, and I'm going to make two different videos for this one, just to show two different things. This is going to go into two different sections, so to say. But today I really want you to see the blueprint, like why you do what you do and where is that kind of coming from, all right? So hang in there for me, but I'll definitely get to you. Now, that being said, being a CBT, being in cognitive behavior therapy, please remember that I alter and adjust things, but that's where this information is coming from. And over the years, I have learned to kind of put my own spin on things. And I just realized that this thing is probably not going to do what I want it to do. You're gonna be able to see it, but not the way, I guess maybe the way I'm seeing it. All right. So I call this the ABC model plus physiology because there is physiology involved. And like I mentioned in one of my other videos, is that the way your body works is that there's a really good book called, I think it's called The Body Takes a Score, The Body Keeps a Score, one or the other, don't quote me on that. But long story short is throughout your lifetime, what's happening is your body is actually taking a physiological score of everything that's happened, from the first time you got anxious, the first time you got scared, the first time you got angry. And what it starts doing is starts recording these things so that when similar behaviors and when similar patterns show up, your body already knows how to respond on autopilot, and it's going to respond just like that. So for us to make adjustments, we have to be more observant, which is why I taught you the observation skills last time, is because when we start becoming more cognizant of that, and we start seeing what the blueprint looks like and where we wind up being, it will help us at the end of the day. So I hope this is helpful. All right. Because again, what we don't want is we don't want our past showing up in our future. And guys, unfortunately, that's happened to me before. I've done it. So I'm here to tell you, I do make mistakes. I still make mistakes because I'm a human being, and some of this stuff just takes a while to progress and to make goals for that. And it's just a time thing sometimes. And there are going to be, in my point of view, and I'll show you something about habits one day, is that the way habits work is, they take about 30 days to change, and they take about a total of 90 days to kind of become more habitualized, but it takes a total of 16 to 18 months for it to be cemented in, so to say, for that neurological response to just be cemented in. So that's what your go-to, because the thing is the way your neurons work is it doesn't forget the other stuff. So we got to pave a new road. I hope that makes sense. So let's get into the blueprint and why we do what we do, right? And again, I'm going to go into another video and go into a little bit more detail over here on this thought process, but I want to give you some examples. So, all right. So again, ABC plus physiology. So let me show you how all this works. So A stands for situation and trigger. Now, other people are going to be taught a little differently on this. I'll call it activating event. But I'm going to, again, this is going to be my version. But we have a situation or trigger, right? And this can be external, internal. So this is where somebody says something. So again, what I usually write right here is people, places, things. So people, places, and things. So basically you may see somebody, you may be in a situation, somebody may say something to you, and what that's going to automatically start in you is a thought process. And your first thought, you cannot stop. So let me give you an example. If I ask you not to think of a pink elephant, what are you going to think about? Now, some of you may say, no, that's great. You still thought about it, right? So when your significant other who knows a lot about you, or the person down the road or at the gas station says something to you, and it's not something that you're expecting, you're going to have an automatic thought, okay? And that comes from some place, but I'm going to get into that later. So here we go. So this situation or trigger, however you want to put it, first people, places, things, is going to automatically start a thought process, okay? That thought process is then going to lead to an emotion, all right? And you see some up and down arrows here, which I'll explain here soon. Then you're going to lead to D, which is a behavior, okay? And that includes verbal and nonverbal cues. So basically verbal are things that I say, things that I do. I'm using my hands, my voice, my tone, if I'm getting in your personal space, things of that nature, right? Me making comments, like we talked about not being judgmental the other day and pointing out behaviors. This is the behavior section. So I may throw out a verbal, I may throw out a label, and so that's what's going to happen. So that's my verbal. And again, you're going to see levels here. Outcomes. Now, I look at outcomes a little differently. There are outcomes like pros and cons, right? You can look at it that way. I'm going to show it to you like this. Now, I'll probably refer to it I'll probably refer to it both, but values are basically either your behavior is moving you towards your values or it's moving you away from your values, right? So moving towards or moving away, all right? So everything that you do is going to be an impetus to whether or not you're moving towards or away from your outcomes, your values, okay? And again, values are things that are important to you. So one thing I'd encourage you to do, if you don't know what values are, I would list your top 5, the things that are very, very important to you, all right? So that's your physical health, emotional, spiritual health, your relationship with God, if that's what you believe in, which I hope that's God, but that's just me. Hope y'all don't say anything really mean on this, but hey, if you do, you do. So money can actually be one, friends, family, like I said, health can be one. Just a number of different things that go into that, all right? So now the other thing I'm not kind of throwing in here right now is that when this activating event happens, your body, this is where physiology comes in. Your body is going to signal you, okay? Because the thing is, your body hasn't transformed in 10,000 years, right? Your brain, we do have, your prefrontal cortex. It helps us with reasoning and things like that. But your brainstem is what's regulating your heart, your blood going to and from your different muscles, right? And so when your body takes a score, like I mentioned earlier, and it sees anxiety and it feels that, what it starts doing, it starts putting you into fight or flight mode, okay? And so your thoughts will be related to the fight and the flight mode, okay? And fight may be, I start yelling, I start getting quick-witted, I start saying rude and nasty things. It could be my flight, and I just sit there and I don't say anything, I stonewall. It could be that I just roll my eyes. It could be that I just stand here and just look at you with beady eyes and just and cross my arms like this, right? Those are things that I may do, right? That's my fight and flight response. I may just walk off, right? Flight. So it all depends on what this is triggering. So again, my body has taken the score from years and years and years and years, and now what's happening is I'm now going to have a thought process. Okay, so follow me on this, all right? So I'm going to have a thought process. Remember, we cannot change. So don't change. We can't change. So there's a 0 and a triangle. So in the medical field, we used to have a triangle meant change. So just go with me on this. So we can't change the first one, but what we can do is we can question the first one. Like I said, like a pink elephant? What's that guy talking about? Pink elephants aren't pink, they're gray. Or you might think, actually, I know they painted a pink elephant at this golf course over here, this putt-putt place, right? But again, what we're going to do is we can challenge that first thought. That's the one thing we can do. We can't do anything about this guy, but we can do something about this one, right? And then what happens is hopefully what we're doing and what I need you to be thinking about is how do we keep the conversation in a positive way so we can have better communication with other people. This is how we do it. We continue with this question, and the check marks mean I'm going to say positive thing. Okay, you know what? Maybe they didn't mean that. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe I took that the wrong way. Is it possible that they have something else going on? Now, that sounds great, right? Now, here's what actually happens. You're going to have a sixth thought. No, I'm not going 666 with the Bible. Come on, guys. Come on now. I know just having to follow number 6. All right. So, number 6. Man, the little devil angel on my shoulder says, nah, man, they did that on purpose. That was intentional. Man, F that. Screw that. Whatever. Number 6 turns into a negative. Number 7 might be a negative too. It might be, yeah, you know what? You remember that time 6 months ago that they did this, and that? Man, they intentionally did that. And so what starts happening, so at first my positive emotions started going up, but now what's happening is my emotions are going down. And what most likely is going to happen, see what happens is, depending on where my thoughts go, my emotions are going to go up, or they're going to go up, and that could be good or bad, right? Depending on the type of emotion it is, or they're going to go down. This is going to reflect over into our behavior of going up and down as well. So, and then all that's going to influence whether or not I'm heading towards my values or I'm moving away from them, right? So if I say something smart to my spouse, right, I'm moving away. If I'm lying to my spouse, I'm moving away. If I'm telling my spouse the truth but doing it in a not so good way, moving away. So there's this, and I know you're thinking, man, well, Kevin, how do I do this? Well, there's another, I have a whole different thing for that. But another way is, if you are paying attention, observe, describe, participate, if we're doing those things, then we are going to see that what we're going to be able to do is be more cognizant of our tone of voice and our volume and what we're saying, so that when these emotions start rising, we can manage that a little bit better. And that's what this is about. It's about managing it day by day, sometimes second by second, minute by minute, right? And then we measure through time how well we've been doing, right? And what the adjustments are, right? All right, so let's go with this. So again, negative thought creeps in there. So what do we need to do with these next ones? And we need to start making some check marks, right? We got to start saying, no, you know what, no, because it's going to be a battle of the mind. That's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a battle of the mind. And so you are going to have to be, and so what your body, what your brain's intentionally trying to do all the time is to scan the environment for negativity. It actually does this naturally. And so you have to teach your mind and teach your body that it doesn't need to do that all the time, right? It's still searching for predators. The only difference between what's going on now and back in the day is that, you know, we had saber-tooth tigers we had to escape or fight. What is now a saber-tooth tiger is you and I, unfortunately. You and your spouse, you and your kid, you and your mom, you and your dad, you and your friends. So it's really important that we take heed where we're looking at this stuff. All right, so all that being said, all right, I don't know what happened there, so here we go. I'm going to just pick up where I left off. So they say that we have about 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day, so that comes out to about 40 to 50 thoughts per minute. So that means whenever this event's going on, whenever this trigger happens, this is what's happening, okay? So just imagine, I'm only going to 9 to 10, but your brain's just going. What do you think happens when your emotions go up? That goes up. Why is that going up? Because your fight or flight responses are going up, okay? It's because your heart starts beating faster, right? Your diaphragm starts going faster. Your mind starts speeding up, right? And so the problem though with that is that the way fight or flight works, the blood drains from your head and it goes down to your extremities, it's ready to fight or flight, right? So my reasoning skills go out the window. So it's really important that you're being cognizant of, what am I thinking about, or what's my physiology? What am I thinking about? What are my emotions? What are my behaviors? Because again, all this is going to impact my emotions, my behaviors, and my outcomes. All right. Hope this video was helpful to you. I hope I gave you a couple of decent examples that should help you kind of get through some of that and at least give you an idea of how your brain's working. Big thing is, challenge these thoughts. Remember that this is going to happen, and that we can go back and challenge them again. And that your emotions and your behaviors are going to be a reflection of what we're thinking about. Okay, and your physiology ain't helping. All right, so the more you teach your body and teach yourself that, hey, the saber-tooth tiger is no longer here, that this person's not a saber-tooth tiger or a threat, then the better we're going to respond, because our physiology is going to respond better too. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, make sure to write them in below. I can't tell you I'm going to get to them because I'm pretty busy with my other career in real estate. So if you were thinking about buying or selling a home, give me a call. I'm making a move, making a change. I can do that too. I have a whole other channel for that. But I hope this is helpful as far as giving you an idea of why we do what we do, okay, or at least the blueprint of why we do what we do. Now I'm going to go into another video. I'm going to have the same stuff up here. I'm going to erase all this and show you some more stuff. All right, take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.